feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God when I pray. I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let
Welcome to the Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Jay Lang. I am so happy you have joined us today. We have a beautiful service, and to start things off today, I'm going to turn it over to the fabulous Jami Lula, streaming in from Southern California. Welcome, Jami, and he's going to open us up with a little music.
Hey, Jade. Thank you so much. Hello, Napa Valley. Peace and blessings. All are welcome here. Hey, everybody, come on down. Hey, everybody, gather around. Hey, everybody, bring a friend. Hey, everybody, come and help me sing. All are welcome. Your burdens down, all are welcome here. We're on hallowed ground, all are welcome here. We'll break our bread with you, all are welcome here. Help you find your truth, all are welcome here. All are welcome here. All are welcome here. All are welcome here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody, come on down. Hey, everybody, gather around. Hey, everybody, bring a friend. Hey, everybody, come and help me sing. All are welcome here. Lay your burdens down. All are welcome here. We're on hallowed ground. All are welcome here. We'll break our bread with you. All are welcome here. Help you find your truth. Come on, y'all. All are welcome here. All are welcome here. Sing it in the ether. All are welcome here. All are welcome here. Come on, y'all. All are welcome here. Everybody. All are welcome here. No matter who you love, all are welcome here. We're all welcome. All are welcome here.
Ah, so beautiful, Jami. So good to have you in the room and welcoming all of us. This idea that we are welcoming. So thank you, Jami, for bringing us into this beautiful space that we're in right now. So good to hear your voice again. I just wanted to give a few announcements before we get into the rest of the part of the service. The first thing I want to tell you is we have new classes that are being offered. As promised, I'm teaching a class called Revealing Oneness in Uncertain Times. Now, we've talked about revealing wholeness before, but this class focuses on this particular time and how we can continue to find the integration of our body, mind, and spirit, and to find sustainable peace and joy no matter what our life circumstances are. So this class starts September. No, that's not right. It starts September 3rd. That is correct. Okay. Had to think about it. And so registration starts now. It's confused because Kristen's also teaching a class, and her class doesn't start till the 22nd. So registration will start in early September. But for Revealing Wholeness, registration starts now. You can find the link on our website and register for the class. And then starts September 3rd on Thursday nights, and then Kristen's teaching a class starting the 22nd on spiritual principles and practices, another good one to have during this time of uncertainty and shifting times that we live in. So please join us for those classes, Tuesdays and Thursday nights, either one that you can choose there. We also want to let you know about a few virtual small groups we're doing and events, because we want to continue to, even when we're not meeting in person as much or at all, want to have events that bring this community together. And the first one's on September 26th. It's our Sip and Savor that we had last year. It's the second annual one, but we're going virtual this year. So we're having the virtual gala on the 26th. From 4 to 5 p.m. There's going to be local musicians, games, live auction, and door prizes. So make sure you tune in, mark your calendar now. And then as also part of that, we're having a silent auction that starts a few days earlier than that on the 22nd. And you can participate in that. But right now, what we're seeking from our community is donations for the silent auction. We're not going to use an auction company like we used last year. So we're gaining all of the auction items from donations from you and your network. We've had one condo that you can use anytime during 2021. That's in Carlsbad, in the San Diego area near the coastline. So many activities to do in that, a full week, and you can schedule when you want it during that time. And we also have wine being donated. You can donate wine or wine tours, fine art, also excursions that you might lead people in, or special trips of that sort that you want to donate. We're looking for different things like that. So if you have any questions, just email me or talk to Mary in the office. There'll be a form online you can fill out, or you can take to wineries you might work for, or that you have networks with, to be able to take to them and show them this form, and so you can print it out, or we'll have copies up here at the office if you want to pick one up here. But we appreciate your participation in that. And then we also have virtual Zoom groups of different kinds, including every Wednesday at 10 a.m. we have a caring and prayer group that meets just to find out what's on your heart, and I host that, and then I finish with any prayers that you may want at that time, just to connect on Wednesday morning at 10. And then in the evening, we've been doing an anti-racism and equality group, and we've been working on studying one book, but we're starting a new book, The Hidden History of Napa Valley, and it's a good time to join because we're starting a new book, so be willing to join with us here. That's Wednesdays at 6:30. We have the Heart, Mind, and Spirit Recovery Group at 5 p.m. on Thursdays. Wisdom Seekers, Friday at noon, and we're starting a new book there also called The Art of Uncertainty, How to Live in the Mystery of Life and Love It. So another one where we can begin to talk about this uncertain time we have and how to live with the art of it. That's an interesting idea. And all that information is online as well. And then second and fourth Fridays, we're having virtual game nights. We're going to do the one coming up on the 14th. We're going to do charades online, so that'll be fun to do. Just, no value other than to have some fun with each other. And so join us for that. Men's Spirit Circle is the first Tuesday of the month. Women's Circle, their Reverend Julie is leading different groups through a series. So she has one group that's registered, and she's going to start a new group next month. If you're interested in leading another circle of women, let me know. We can have several groups running at a time, but the idea is it's a closed group, and you get to know each other and share with each other what's going on and lift each other as fellow sisters in this journey of life. So let me know if you're interested in that, or you look for registration in a new group that will be in September. And then every Wednesday we have meditation at 6:30. As I mentioned, the ongoing book study group on Wednesday, and then meditation in Spanish as well on Wednesday. And then every Sunday before and after the service, we have Zoom community that you can join us for. And then the live service, of course, we have on Facebook and YouTube that you're joining us. We always are requesting you to send us any prayers you might have. The practitioners find great meaning and love in praying for others. As we each week and each month we pray for you, and we appreciate your prayers for us during these times as well. We also appreciate any donations that you're able to give us. I know some people are challenged with finances, But if you find yourself in a place of abundance, please share that abundance with us. We appreciate it either on PayPal or sending us checks in the mail. Either way, we appreciate those donations, as well as Amazon. I think that's been everybody's go-to thing lately. If you sign up for Smile Amazon, a percentage of your purchase goes to the Napa Center. And last year we gained a couple $1,000s over 2019, so it's really nice. Anything that you can give us in terms of that, we really appreciate it. So with that all said, enough of that. Let's begin the sacred part of our service once again with Jami.
Oh, great Spirit of love, giving freely, refusing none. Oh, great Spirit of love, eternal goodness flows like a flood. Oh, great Spirit of love, giving freely, refusing none. Oh, great Spirit of love, eternal goodness flows like a flood. Love is all is love. Join us in singing the music of one in all in one. No greater blessing under the sun. Love is all is love. Join us in singing the music of one and all in one. No greater blessing under the sun. No greater blessing. Oh, great Spirit of love, giving freely, refusing none. Oh, great Spirit of love, eternal goodness flows like a flood. Love is all is love. Join us in singing the music of one and all in one. No greater blessing under the sun. No greater blessing. No greater blessing.
And so I just allow that song to bring us into this time of meditation. I invite you to close your eyes and take a deep breath and just fully arrive and center into this present moment, feeling the connection of this community from wherever we are. Knowing that this connection is centered in and rooted in oneness. That there is only this one essence that is going on. It is permeating and penetrating each and every one of us. The interspaces of this entire planet and universe, all life, all of the plants and the animals, the ground upon which we move, the air that we breathe. It's all this one presence. And because I know that there is only this one infinite, absolute, eternal thing going on, I know and affirm that each and every one of us is that one thing. We are living in and as God. We are moving in and as God. We are breathing in and as God. And so I just move more deeply into this knowingness as we take a moment of silence to just sit in the fullness and the beauty of that essence of oneness. Knowing that at each and every moment, this centered peace is always available at the very seat of who we are. We are this oneness. We are this connection. So I simply express my deep and profound gratitude for that knowing as I release this meditation and this time, knowing that it is done. And so it is. And so today, we are talking about, Reverend Jay's talk is All Are Welcome Here. And I love that idea of just all. And I love to contemplate what all really means, because we are all connected and we talk about oneness and we talk about all are welcome here. And the beauty of the diversity of all of the people on this planet means that I can't even really fathom what that means. And so I love to just sit in the fullness and the beauty of what all truly can look like. There's a quote from Jean Vanier, and it says, she says, one of the marvelous things about community is that it enables us to welcome and help people in a way we couldn't as individuals. When we pool our strength and share the work and responsibility, we can welcome many people, even those in deep distress, and perhaps help them find self-confidence and inner healing. And so I just love this idea of all, and the more that we settle into all and knowing that all are welcome here, and knowing that we in our fullness, myself and all of everything that I've got going on, whether it's beautiful or messy or anything in between, that I am still welcome in this place and in this community. And I just know that that is true for all of us. And so that's what I've been contemplating with Reverend Jay's talk today, and I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say. Thank you.
Love Reverend Jay, and looking forward to the talk. This is a new Floyd Lula song. We just put a video up recently. It's called Take a Hand, Take a Knee. Take a hand, take a knee, till everybody is free. we owe apologies. Stop inequality. Take a stand, make a choice. Let every human rejoice. A word, shout, scream, or noise. Let freedom ring in their voice. From deep within it comes in every one of us. One and all in one. A new day's dawning. We are one in the spirit of love. Let it ride, let it ring. Hear freedom calling. We are one in the spirit of love. Yeah. Another anthem we sing. We stand together on the brink. Love and peace take wing. Let it quarterly ring. Take a moment and breathe. Nothing is what it seems. No one's living beneath another human being. From deep within it comes in every one of us. One and all in one. A new day's dawning. We are one in the spirit of love. Yeah. Let it ride, let it ring. Hear freedom calling. We are one in the spirit of love. If fear is running your mind, leave your weapons behind. Anger's leaving us blind. Come together and kind with one another. Oh, one and all in one. A new day's dawning. We are one in the spirit of love. Yeah. Let it ride, let it ring. Hear freedom calling. We are one in the spirit of love. One and all in one. A new day's dawning. We are one in the spirit of love. Let it ride, let it ring. Hear freedom calling. We are one in the spirit of love. Yeah. Hear freedom calling. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Jami. So lovely to hear you. For those who don't know, Jami's been the soundtrack of my life. I say that a lot of musicians, but Jami really was. When I was teen camp director and teen advisor, he was the musician during most of those years, and his songs just became an inspiration to me, so much that some of his songs inspired me to take a chance on love again, and was asked Michelle to marry me and was our musician at our wedding. So just lovely to hear your voice. Just brings me back to a moment. So blessings, brother, that you are. So this month we're talking about inclusion in action. In particular, we're talking about all are welcome here. And it was perfect as Jami was able to open us up with this song that we sing often as a chant, opening our services up, that Diego's sung for us before. But it's Jami's song, and it was so good to have him here. But as I was thinking about this topic about welcoming, I remembered a time when I went to a conference. And I didn't know many people at this conference, and upon entering the conference, I was greeted by somebody I didn't know that said, "Welcome all of you." And I didn't know exactly what that meant. And, I thought about it later. Do I really welcome all of myself? To welcome all of me would mean to welcome my joy, the peace I hold deep inside of me, the love I have for people, for spirit, the mysticism, the love of knowledge I have. But it was also the regrets and disappointments I have in life, my judgments, my wishing things were different, my, just how I hold on to things sometimes instead of letting them go. And I really didn't know if I deserved for all of me to be loved and welcomed. But it was a question that I continued to ask during that weekend conference, as well as that led me to a life of inquiry about self-acceptance, about welcoming all of me, all aspects of me. So as we open up to this idea that we welcome all of us, it's all of us, all aspects of us if you look at this image. And that we open up to the greater truth that's within us. I think that lately this has been a really important question I've been re-asking myself. Not only am I welcoming all of me, but I'm welcoming all of everybody else. Their whole person, not assuming that what I see on the surface, their race, their culture, their gender, their religion, their orientation is all who they are. Yes, it's part of who they are, but there's something greater in that. And it's important that we continue to look at our biases we might have, any beliefs we have, as we take this opportunity to deepen into our inclusion of all people on this planet. An invitation not only to self-accept ourselves, but accept all others. I know we're not meeting as a community right now in person, but we still are this community, and we can still work and be and open up to a greater welcoming, a more radical welcoming, if you want to call it that, in what we do. I had a dream the other night that I was in this room, and I wasn't up here. I was out among all of you. The room was full, and we were singing. And I was so just really in the moment, feeling part of the community. And then in my dream, I go, wait a minute, we're not supposed to be singing. Isn't that against the restrictions we're on? And it was a moment of like, something's not right here. But the previous moment, everything was right. And something is right about this community in so many ways, even if we're not in person sharing this music and our hugs and our laughter. We have this community, and we can still be welcoming to all people, a sort of radical welcoming that we have. And that there is great value in this getting clear about our identities, our individual and collective, and what we're bringing to the table. Standing in our power and celebrating the identities of others is a gift. It also helps us foster inclusion in that way. So we are all emanations of the divine. We're all unique, and at the same time, through our various experience identities, we are the same. We are alive. We are connected in this way, and everybody has different gifts and experiences and identities, and our willingness to show up fully with who we are. This radical welcoming. But it's not always easy. I heard a story this week about 2 dogs and a cat that went to heaven. And never before had animals been up to heaven, or there hadn't been any in a long time. So God alone decided to make the judgment whether they got to go to heaven or not. So God sat in his throne, and the first dog came up to him and goes, well, why do you think you belong in heaven? And the dog goes, well, I've been a great therapy dog. I've gone to homes of the elderly and of the people who couldn't get out because of their health, and I comforted them and cared for them, and they were touched. And God goes, oh yes, you deserve to be here. You may come on in. A second dog came up and said, well, why do you deserve to be in heaven? And the dog goes, well, I've been a loyal dog. that's been present with my family as they continue to change and grow, and I've always been for that there, and everybody rallies around me and loves me, and I've been willing to be loved. And God says, that is truly worthy. You too may come in. And then the cat came up and goes, and why do you think you belong in heaven? And the cat looks up and goes, well, first of all, you're in my chair. So if any of you have cats, you know what that's like. But this is also a story about if you're truly welcoming to people, are you willing to give up your chair, your seat? I remember growing up in the Presbyterian church, and my brother and my sister, my mom and my dad, we had a set pew. It was on the left-hand side. I can't tell you what number it was, 7th, 8th, maybe 9th row back. But if I went to that church again, I could tell you right where it is. My brain memory cells would just walk right to that pew and sit down. Now, if there was a Sunday that perhaps we were running a little late, because we got there way early to make sure we got our seats, but if we were late, but anybody that was a regular member there, by the way, regular attender would know that was the lying pew, first of all. So that was just, everybody knew where we sat. But if a guest, a new person happened to get there before us, they might accidentally sit in our pew not knowing that it was reserved, without any names, of course. And my father, being the man he was, would not say anything, but he would stare down that person who was in the pew. But they wouldn't know what they did or why they did, but obviously that was not very welcoming. So how are we welcoming in our heart and in our sanctuary, in our lives, of new people that are different than us in some ways, or we perceive a difference? Are we willing to give up our seat? Are willing to forego the judgments we might have about where that person is in life or who they show up as, and willing to let that person be the wholeness, let it unfold who they are, give them the space to be able to tell who they really are? Often I think of this conversation about our inner being and who we are and revealing this wholeness takes time. And I thought about a nesting doll, and I'm going to come a little closer to you here with just the nesting doll. If I can put it in front of you here. I have to adjust it. So think of the nesting doll of being this is a beautiful person on the outside. This is who we present to everybody. But there's an inner core we have that we reveal only to certain people. And there's another core that we possibly don't reveal to anybody at all. This very inner core being. And also the question is, do we accept all aspects of ourselves? All aspects of ourselves are seemingly failures we might have in life, who we might have been, the decisions we have made, the life that we know, regrets, disappointments we have. Are we willing to accept that, and are we willing to give people space to know their inner sides too? Because that's going to take time. It's going to take unveiling and unfolding and allowing in that way. And to do this, to be radically welcome, we need to first of all welcome all of ourselves. And then we need to radically listen. And then we need to radically welcome the all of other people. So I want to go a little bit deeper into this idea of welcoming all of ourselves. So a question simply, like I asked on that particular weekend years ago, is, do you welcome all of yourself? What do you leave out? Are there parts that you stay hidden or embarrassed or in shame about? Because we all carry within us a myriad of identities, a myriad of experiences that we've had across our lifespan, whether it be short or long. And we are a multitude of these expressions, and it is all good. It is all okay right where we are. I've been reading the new Science of Mind magazine, one of the best ones I've read in a long time. and it's on inclusion and action. And we have a couple copies left here, but it's also available at Copperfields. I'm not sure about Bookmine, but I know it's at Copperfields. It's also, Science of Mind subscriptions are available on Kindle. That's where I usually read mine, is on Kindle. It's a nice way to get it. And then it's right there in your Kindle whenever you want it. But this particularly issue is on inclusion, but almost every article talks about internalized bullying or internalized oppression. So this concept is that experiences we had a child where we were oppressed, suppressed, put into shame or guilt, or we were bullied, has an effect where we internalize this inner critic upon ourselves. Studies have shown that people that are bullies as a youth or violent as a teen and adult often come from violent homes or violent neighborhoods. And we also know that racism and prejudice often comes from fear or loss. And these experiences we have of racism or misogyny or anti-Semitism or other forms of religious discrimination, as well as shame or guilt-based religions or parenting that's shame and guilt-based, that we can internalize, we can turn this on ourselves as an internalized bullying, internalized shame. And when we do that, we're not accepting all of ourselves. We need to be willing to let that come to the surface, willing to look at it and go, this is not true. I am not this person. I'm whole, complete, and fabulous, and I need to let go of this internal shaming that I do of myself. My favorite article in the New Science of Mind magazine is about one of our ministers, Reverend Reverend, who's a minister in Grass Valley. He's an openly trans man, and he's been through quite a life that you can read the whole article about it. I'm not going to take the time to talk about his story. I want to focus on the part of his life that had this internalized oppression. He grew up as was raised as a girl, but he always had this identity of a boy. And when he talked about it or resisted wearing dresses or resisted doing things that were more along with the identity of a girl, he was shamed for it. He was guilt-ridden by evangelical, charismatic religion. His parents shamed him. His friends shamed him. And it turned him into later where he covered up these emotions with drugs and other behavior that kind of kept it under surface. But as an adult, he began to slowly open up and deal with this oppression, this internalized oppression. And it was Science of Mind that gave him the tools to do that. So he went through a practitioner and also went through a procedure of gender alignment, which brought into that, it was just an expression of what was in him already. It wasn't necessary for him to deal with his internal oppression, but it was necessary for him to know and express his true self. One beautiful part of his life that has always touched me is his wife Deborah loved him for who he was before the procedure, during the procedure, and after the procedure, because she loved that person, not his identity and of his gender. So he began to heal this oppression and let it go and know the truth of what he was, of who he is, and the spirit within him. And I find this too, that when I am struggling with my self-concept or my self-worth, I know, or the worth of another person, I know it is spirit that nudges me towards unconditional acceptance, unconditional love. It's not a voice that comes down demanding anything. It's a gentle move towards this. And I just love the Spirit that continues to remind me of who I really am. I was also touched this week by, let me just back up a minute and just say, I know during this time of social isolation, people have been challenged with their physical health, but a greater number of people have been challenged with their mental health. And I know there's a stigma around talking about our mental health because we think we're supposed to have it all together. And Michelle Obama has started a podcast, and one of her podcasts this week, she talked about her own mental health and how she's had a low-grade depression during the pandemic and the resurgence of the fight for racial justice. And I think we don't, as a white person, I don't always understand how this has affected people of color and how, we think, oh, they're going to be happy about this, but it's difficult for them, their emotions through this. And I'm glad she was willing to talk about this. She said she wakes up in the middle of the night because she's worrying about something or there's a heaviness within her. Concerns about the treatment of black people and other people of color being dehumanized, hurt, or killed, or falsely accused of something. She said it's a weight she hasn't felt in her life in a while, a long time. She said she tries to get a workout in, but there have been periods through the quarantine where she just felt too low to do that, not enough energy. And I think we can all relate to that. And I appreciated her openness and frankness about her own moments that have been challenging for her because it is difficult. And I think just to hear her talk about it gives us permission to accept more of ourselves in this. And the challenges, in particular, people of color right now feel when there is still fear around people's response to them. It's either an over response or an under response. So I appreciated that. And I know that as we see ourselves more clearly, we can celebrate who we are, but we also can get the help of a trusted friend, a colleague, a family, a practitioner, a minister, a spiritual community member, a therapist. And I know about the nesting doll, to go back to that, it's not like we reveal this to just anybody. Trusted people. We don't need to broadcast it on Facebook or Twitter or other social media. We don't go around wearing this out in public necessarily. But we also are aware of this and mindful of this part of and all aspects of ourselves, and welcome it when it does come forth, that we don't push it back down. We're aware that we need connection. And I know many people, even during this social isolation time, are meeting friends with masks on, 6 feet apart, just to connect in the physical space. And I think if we're cautious, it's okay to do that. If we're aware of how to protect ourselves and how to keep ourselves from possibly infecting someone else, we can do this. It is Howard Thurman that said that there is something in every one of us that waits and listens for the sound of the genuine in ourselves. It is the only true guide that you will ever have. If you cannot hear it, you will all of your life spend your days on the ends of strings that somebody else pulls. So it is important for us to be aware of all aspects of ourselves in this way. And the other aspect, as we welcome not only all of us, do we need to listen to our own mindfulness, but we welcome others. And one way we do that is to radically listen. There's a minister that I began to read her book today. Her name is Reverend Stephanie Spellers, and she wrote a book on radical welcoming. So she also had I'm about to lose my computer here. Hang on. Became unplugged. I saved it. That's good. Because I want you to hear this video by this person, this Stephanie Spellers, because she has this incredible talk about radical listening and how she considers it to be the way of opening up to freedom and healing. And as mentioned, she wrote this book on radical welcome. But here's her clip here from her TED Talk.
I hope that at some point in your life, you have spoken a word that was so true, so raw. You couldn't believe it was coming out of your mouth. It was like it was coming out of your gut. And the person who's listening to you didn't even flinch. Instead, they leaned in closer. They leaned in closer and their eyes kind of crinkled a little bit. And it was like they couldn't wait to hear the next word out of your mouth. I hope that you've had that experience of being heard so well, listened to so fully, received so fully. It's like being loved. I'm convinced more and more that the structures that diminish Black lives and brown lives and Native lives and women's lives and queer lives and poor lives, these systems will not fundamentally change, and we will not be free unless we are engaged in this kind of brave listening. I would ask you for an amen on that, but I know where I am. But still. But I hope that we understand that the only way things will change is if we are listening to each other as if the words coming out of someone else's mouth are the words necessary for life, even if it's that person talking. Now, there's nothing easy about this practice. There's nothing easy about it. I had to be trained in it, trained by my friends who were gay and lesbian and bi and transgendered. This listening, this is the revolution. What if you and I went and found that person or that group, and instead of having the same old argument, have this talk? Reveal that small part of your broken heart. Welcome theirs. Be grateful for the tiny morsel of truth you never would have known except that that person spoke it. Y'all, this is how we grow in compassion. This is how we knit one more thread into this broken fabric. This is how we get free. Thank you.
So this whole sense of radical listening is such an extraordinary tool, as you can tell, but it is necessary for us to drop our ego, to drop who we think we are in so many ways, to really let that person reveal who they are, and in that moment, we can spontaneously know what is important for us to share too, not out of trying to convince anybody of anything, but our inner self. I know for myself, the very surface, you might know that I'm a vegetarian and that I'm passionate about not using any kind of chemicals in my garden or on my yard. But if you knew me better, if you want to know what's behind that, is my father was a fertilizer salesman to farmers, and he died from lung cancer because he was exposed to pesticides. That's why I don't want to use those pesticides. I'm a vegetarian because what began as a health thing has now become a very spiritual thing to me, that I feel more connected. And I'm not judging anybody who's not, but for me, it's about the way my relationship with the planet. For me. No judgment of other people who eat meat or eat other things that I wouldn't eat. But for me, that's my practice, and if we have a moment, a quiet moment when we can share about that. You would know more about that inner reasons why I do things. So it's more than the what of who I am. I'm glad to share that, but in an inner conversation, you can know the inner depths, and I think that's true of all of us. Where a husband might hear his wife asking him to not take on more projects necessarily, and when asked what's behind that, it's not her trying to control him or tell him what to do or concerned about him in that way, but wants more quality time with him. Wants time to enjoy the moments, the sweet moments, so we can connect with each other and not have a brain that's busy or distracted by the projects he is juggling. Now, that's a hypothetical example. I don't know who I might be talking about there. So, it may or may not know who that person is, but it's just hypothetical. But there's always something more with this listening. And as Stephanie Spellers talked about, Reverend Stephanie Spellers, in her book, The Radical Welcoming, she talked about how we welcome all of others in this way. That the way we welcome people is a spiritual practice that allows us to live in a compassionate, yet colorful, boundary-crossing dream of God. Well, that's a lovely phrase, isn't it? A colorful, boundary-crossing dream of God. And it's more than a warm welcome on a Sunday morning with a platter full of donuts and coffee. It's about opening up to people's voices and their presence and their power, especially those who have been marginalized. And the outcome of this radical welcome is that everyone can be transformed by their relationship with each other. So it's a win-win in this way, an opening to the truth. Now, Ernest Holmes himself, when our founder, believed in integrating our communities and spoke about it often. One time in our Science of Mind magazine, up till, I don't know when it changed, but up till probably 2000, in the back of the Science of Mind magazine, they had all the churches listed, and study groups, and practitioners were even listed in here. And in 1945, there was a listing that was there was complaints about a particular church in East Los Angeles that was a mixture of white and black people, was led by an African American, a black person named Reverend Arthur Tywin. And there were such complaints that the Science of Mind editor at the time separated regular churches and colored churches. That was in the June of 1945. Ernest Holmes saw that and he goes, no, we don't do that. So in July of 45, it was changed. He said, we don't segregate like that. And he went to go speak at this church and really brought forth that we are one, There's no separation of race or culture. And I'm sure it would have been part of the conversation of orientation if he had and been part of the civil rights movements if he had lived into the 60s for those. So we know this idea that when we are welcoming all people, that we are open to welcoming all of us and welcoming the all of everybody. Thomas Merton said that the beginning of love is the will to let those we love be perfectly themselves, the resolution not to twist them to fit our own image. If in loving them we do not love what they are, but only their potential likeness to ourselves, then we do not love them. We only love the reflection of ourselves we find in them. That's a powerful statement to me, that we need to be open to the difference they are rather than the sameness they are. I mean, we seek to find the common ground, no doubt, and we open up to the truth of who we are. So I have an affirmation for you here. So read with me as I say it. I welcome all of me. I welcome all of you. I bravely heal any bias and embrace, live out love with all human beings and all of life. And I know we do a welcome at the beginning of each service, and I'd like to bring that up again. We didn't do it at the beginning service because I wanted to save it for now. So if Shauna could pull that up, we'll do that because we welcome all of you and we welcome all of ourselves. So we say, we bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community. We are grateful for your presence in our community. And let's go to prayer. We just allow Spirit to be that nudging within us that moves us towards radical welcoming, radical inclusion of all of ourselves and all of everybody else. And we know in this moment that we are connected with the Spirit that is this movement within us, that is this reminder in us, that is this truth in us that opens us up and allows us to be this creative genius, this creative power and love, and allow others to be this creative genius as well. We are so grateful for this truth, this love. We simply let it be and know it is, and so it is. And now a little more music by Jami. Blessings to you.
Thank you, Reverend Dr. J. I know that's coming soon. Some fool's got a broken heart, wants to share it with me. I know, 'cause I've been there before. That fool's so familiar, you know I've heard those tears before. That fool looks in the mirror back at me. Why can't I find some compassion? You know I'd find it for you. 'Cause I wanna love me the best that I can. Find love for all of the worst I think I am. See things that you can, that I think I can. And then someday I'll give the love back to you. Well, you see me much clearer than my looking glass stare, and I'm tired of abusing my heart. Now there's something calling out to me. I wanna paint pictures clear, but I'm angry and obstinate and so full of fear. Why can't I find some compassion? You know I'd find it for you. 'Cause I wanna love me the best that I can. Find love for all of the worst I think I am. See things that you can, that I think I can't. And then one Hey, y'all. Thank you so much. And I got a little secret for you to tell you. We're so grateful that you're here. Thursday is Reverend Jay's birthday, and August 13, he's been so amazing at supporting NVCSL through all this time. We want to make sure he knows that how he is loved. If you'd like to give him a card and drop it off at the center to Mary Tuesday through Thursday, or mail it to the center and Mary will add it to the basket. You're also welcome to email him on Thursday at revjay, R-E-V-J-A-Y, at nvcsl.com. You can contact Kristen at nvcsl.com for more information. It's a secret. Shh. Peace and blessings. Thank you so much for having me today.
Oh, thank you, Jami. I'm just sending love back to you. You're such a precious person in my life and our life as a community. So, love you, brother. This time in our service, we're just grateful for all the financial contributions as well as the contributions of volunteer time that we have here. And if you so want to do some work here at the center, we're people are helping out in the garden and the courtyard in different areas, so let me know. And I just appreciate all the contributions that you give to us. So we take these checks that we have been mailed into us, but we also know that electronic donations have been given to us. So we say the affirmation on the screen: divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is. We also appreciate all those families and children as they continue to bless their home life there. So we raise up our hands in appreciation of you. We say, we love you, we care about you, and we're here for you. And then finally, our community affirmation that we say each week. Please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
I am led by Spirit.
I
I am guided by wisdom. I am protected by love. I am here to be a blessing. I am so grateful. And so it is.
Close us out. Oh, we are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sown. We are the harvest we reap. Oh, I am that I am. Oh, I am that I am. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. Oh, I am that I am. Oh, I am that I am. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. We are the harvest we reap. We are the harvest we reap. Peace and blessings, y'all.
We go forward. We know that we're willing to open up our heart and listen to all people and honor and love all of us. For we know it is the calling of the Spirit to be this truth within us. And so it is. Have a great weekend. Join us for Zoom online. It'll be from now till about noon. We'll wrap it up, but thanks for being here today.